A tribe used to be an enclosed unit. Its members married among themselves. You will find this to be the case in all races and peoples. It was a significant moment in the history of mankind when this custom ceased to be upheld. The moment when a mingling of blood took place, through the fact that marriage between close relations was replaced by marriage between strangers. Marriage within a tribe ensured that the same blood flowed through its members down the generations. Marriage between strangers allowed new blood to be introduced into a people. The tribal law of intermarriage will be broken sooner or later among all peoples. It heralds the birth of the intellect, which means ability to understand the external world, to understand what is foreign. The important fact to bear in mind is that in ancient times a dim clairvoyance existed, out of which arose sagas and legends, and that the clairvoyant consciousness is based on unmixed blood, whereas our awakened consciousness depends on mixed blood. In our time, a person's whole surrounding world, in which he acted, came to expression in the blood. Consequently, this surrounding world formed the inner in accordance with the outer. In ancient times, it was more a person's inner bodily life that came to expression in the blood. A person inherited, along with the memory of his ancestors' experiences, also their good or bad inclinations. These could be traced in his blood. This ancestral bond was severed when blood became mingled through outside marriages. Thus, ancestral power holds sway in unmixed blood, that of personal experience in mixed blood. Myths and legends told of these things, quote, "That which has power over thy blood has power over thee," close quote. Ancestral power over a folk came to an end when the blood, through being mingled with foreign blood, ceased to be receptive to its influence. Whatever power wishes to subjugate a person will have to exert an influence that imprints itself in his blood. Thus, if an evil power wishes dominance over an individual, it must gain dominance over his or her blood. That is the profound meaning of the quotation from Faust, and the reason the representative of evil says, quote, "Sign your name to the pact in blood. Once I possess your name written in your blood, I shall have caught you by the one thing that will hold man. I shall then be able to pull you over to my side," close quote. That which possesses a person's blood possesses that person and possesses the human eye. Take the case of a people that is very much at one with its environment, a people into whose blood the environment has, as it were, inserted itself. No attempt to graft upon it a foreign culture will succeed. It is simply impossible, and is also the reason why in certain regions the original inhabitants became extinct when colonized. One must approach such problems with insight and realize that anything and everything cannot be forced upon a people. It is useless to demand of blood more than it is able to endure. Modern science has discovered recently that if blood from one animal is mixed with that of another, not akin to it, the two types of blood prove fatal to one another. This is something that has been known to spiritual knowledge for a long time. Just as unrelated types of blood, if mixed, cause death, so is the old clairvoyance killed in primitive humanity when blood from different lines of descent are mingled. Our modern intellectual life is entirely the outcome of the mingling of blood. Once this approach is adopted, it will be possible to study what effect the mingling of blood has had on the various people in the course of history. Thus, when the blood of animals from different evolutionary stages is mixed, the result is death, whereas that is not the case when the species are related. The human organism survives when, through marriage, blood is mingled with strange blood. Here the result is the extinction of the original animal kind of clairvoyance and the birth in evolution of a new consciousness. In other words, something happens in humans, but on a higher level, that is similar to what happens in the animal kingdom, where strange blood kills strange blood. In the human kingdom, strange blood kills the hazy clairvoyance that is based on kindred blood. Therefore, it is a destructive process that gave rise to the modern human wakeful day consciousness. The kind of spiritual life that resulted from intermarriage has been destroyed in the course of evolution, while the very thing that destroyed it, that is, marriage between strangers, gave birth to the intellect and today's lucid consciousness. What is able to live in a person's blood lives in that person's eye. Just as the physical principle comes to expression in the physical body, the ether body comes to expression in the system of living fluids, and the astral body in the system of nerves, so does the eye come to expression in the blood. Physical principle, ether body, and astral body are the above. Blood, the eye, forms the center, and physical body, living fluids, and nervous system are the below. Therefore, whatever power wishes to dominate humans must take possession of their blood. These are the things that must be taken into account if progress is to be achieved in practical life. For example, just because the eye comes to expression in the blood, a people's racial character can be destroyed through colonization, when more is demanded than the blood can endure.